on YouTube, social media world. It's your boy AnonymousBased, and I'm biggity back with a new reaction video. This time I'm here with something brand new from It's Complicated. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give this video a like, share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section. So, we are here with something brand new from It's Complicated. Shout out to you, brother. And the name of this video is called Average Men. Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it, man.
The Andrew Tates, the Fresh and Fits, to be that main thing. If I were Fresh and Fit, I'd bring more average men on their show.
A lot of people that are just going for clicks and trying to create content for clicks, they're hacks. I'm going to be dead honest with you. And it's damaging the discourse and making these problems that much harder to solve.
Okay. All right. Interesting take.
What are the qualities of a high-value man?
I would say a good job, makes a decent amount of money,
Okay.
keeps care of themselves, like financially and like hygiene-wise.
Strong,
Okay.
smart, ambitious, it's grinding, trying to get his money.
Work ethic, great character, responsibility,
Okay.
determination, focus,
All right.
resilience, integrity.
According to those standards, would Jesus Christ be considered a high-value man?
I would say not in modern times. I feel like back then, in a sense.
Do you think a person should have to change to attract somebody?
No.
Oh,
If not,
wrong.
why would self-improvement be so heavily pushed?
Thank you.
I feel like self-improvement is a personal thing, not a relationship thing.
If you're changing for that person, that's not right. But if you're changing for sake of yourself, to better yourself, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Because one is you conforming to the ideas another person has, whereas the other one is you changing for your own ideas, for your own benefit, to better yourself.
Do you think you'll
Okay.
ever make it to the top 1%? And if so, how long do you think it will take?
Very unlikely.
To be honest, I don't think I'll make it to the top 1%. I don't see that for myself. Part of it is because I don't think I want it.
I would love to.
Okay.
It's damn hard. It's going to take me a while. I'm 36. I'd say about max, not another 9 years. About 45, 46, I should have what I want.
Okay, cool.
Why do so many people think that if you're not a stereotypical high-value man, that automatically makes you low value?
Society. It's all about, I guess, materialistic shit.
Social media has really conditioned us to have such an all or nothing mentality because social media is such a highlight reel. You see the best of what's going on with everyone's life. You think if it's not going on for you, there must be something wrong with you.
Women want the best, you know? That's what they put
Okay.
out there, so they're looking for a certain thing.
All right.
Who's more delusional? Women all thinking they'll snatch high-value men, or men thinking they'll all become high-value men?
Probably men thinking they'll become high-value men.
No.
Why?
Stop the cap.
Just harder to make it rather than make it getting in a relationship.
Women,
Why?
Thank you.
because a lot of them aren't deserving of the men they're looking for.
Thank
A lot of
you.
them are not traditional women. They want a man who pays for the first date. They want a man who's provider, protector. But 95% of them are not virgins. 95% of them aren't cooperative. They don't know how to work together. It feels like a competition a lot of the times. And
Yep,
that's
thank
not
you.
what we're trying to deal with.
Thank you.
There's a saying that I heard one time. He who speaks does not know, he who knows does not speak. If you say you're a high value person and you're constantly trying to convince other people of that,
Then that's not
odds
you.
are you're not a high
Thank
value
you.
man or woman.
Thank
and
you.
you're trying to there's a good reason you're single. Just going to say it.
When it comes to relationships, how is telling men that they need to become high value, not just shaming all the average men who can't make it to the top 1%?
I mean, that is shaming.
It is shaming. And most of these women are delusional.
I don't know that women are delusional for wanting a guy who they perceive to be high value, and I don't think that a man is delusional for wanting a woman to see, or for wanting a woman who they perceive to be high value. I think that we as people, innate to our nature, are selfish, and of course we always ideally would like the best deal that we could possibly get.
Thank you.
There are average men out there that are trying their best and they feel less than because they are not that top 1% of guys.
been perceived that it is the women in a society who generally tend to set that standard, that the men are far more interested in women than women are in men. And so by virtue of that, there's more of an impetus for men to build and provide and sort of become worthy.
If you ask them the type of man they want, the man doesn't exist.
Exactly.
The man doesn't exist. He's 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack, makes $500,000 a year, works out every day, has no kids. Realization is that most of these girls are dating the same guy. If you're looking for that guy is dating 10 of them.
Yep.
Does that mean 99% of men don't qualify for women?
Oh, we qualify, but based on what they say, I guess we don't.
Thank you.
Doesn't that reflect more upon the character of the majority of women?
Yes, their standards are unreasonably and unrealistically high.
But unfortunately, I think now it's gone too far to where, like, no matter what a man does, it's not enough. And
man,
that
goddamn.
is definitely a problem.
Yep.
Do you believe every man can be rich?
Yes, if they work hard enough. I do believe that, yeah.
If all men were millionaires, wouldn't that just become the new average?
Yeah, in a sense for men, yeah.
So what's the difference between saying all men can be rich versus all men can be high value?
High value is a character. Rich is possession.
A man could be high value. Self-improvement, he's in the gym, working out. The way he talks, he's very knowledgeable on things that he's into. Versus rich, you just rich money. You know, that's all
Right.
money. Yeah.
Okay.
Does the Passport Bros movement prove that most Western men are already considered high value in the eyes of foreign women?
Yes, we're in the greatest country in the world. We make more
Sup,
money than a
nigga,
lot
to
of
the
other
end, tell
countries.
a friend,
there are
bitch.
women that are not here that are dying to be with us.
That's
We're
true.
on our last straw, ladies. We're trying to stick with y'all.
Damn,
we really
son,
are,
where'd
but
you find
they're calling
this?
us.
Isn't
true.
having game just tricking women into thinking you're high value?
No, it just depends. Levels to game. Like,
Isn't there even a term in the pickup community called DHV, display of higher value?
yes, and that's kind of like the fake it till I make it thing. So okay, yeah, I retract what I just said. You
Okay.
do have to put off a certain air about yourself to get certain things.
Why is dating advice typically about coaching men to improve, but never about humbling women to accept more average men like they did in the past?
The society we live in now, and just modern times, and times change.
That's like asking a pig to fly when you want a woman to do certain things. It's like you got to talk to the men we're working around how they are. To dictate how they're going to move when it comes to women is very hard because you can't believe what they say half the time or most of the time. You got to believe what they do.
Why is this burden placed on men only to become exceptional?
Like I said, man is top one is responsibility. So all the responsibility usually gets placed on a man.
What's the difference between men's self-improvement versus sculpting yourself as a tool to be used by women?
Are you going to be a pushover or are you going to like become the best man you can be? Because it's easy to get a certain type of girl if you're pandering, giving them everything they want.
Right.
Of course they want to hang around you. You're the guy who pays for their food. You're the guy who, pays for whatever. You're just taking care of everything. But if you can actually find a situation where you don't have to use your money to get you what you want, you can actually use the stuff you gained over the years, like the effort you put on your body, the education you have, the riz that the kids say these days.
Why aren't all men rich alpha males and why aren't all women lingerie models?
Some people work harder than others.
Because they shouldn't be. Not everyone deserves to be millionaires. Not everyone's
Damn,
smart enough. Not everyone
son,
works hard
where'd you
enough.
find
There aren't
this?
women who look good enough to be these models.
Thank you.
It's just there's a pecking order.
This is the one.
So
This
are we
man
ready
speaking
to
facts so far.
Don't say the F word around my kid. Finance? Finance is.
There's a pecking order here. Not everybody's in it.
We're all created equal in that we're born with potential. Whether or not we realize that potential, whether it's being rich, being our ideal shape, a lot of that is up to us. Now, there are some things that we cannot help. That's also part of life. It varies from person to person.
All right.
But I'm not going to sit there and make a blanket statement because I don't know the lives of other people. Going to be dead honest.
Why aren't female dating coaches shaming all women to lose weight and develop feminine excellence?
Because in this time, that would be called sexism.
Because they're scared to get fired. They're scared to get ridiculed. They're scared of their reputation getting tarnished. It's unfortunate that I see a lot of men getting told when they're out of shape, and most men take it on the chin. And you know what we do? We work out. We go home, go do some push-ups. You tell a woman that, you're a hater and
Yep.
you're everything bad and under the book.
Yep.
There's always gonna be a better dude than you, and there's always gonna be a female. No matter who you messing with, every dude knows there's another female that looks better than your girl,
Yep.
and there's another dude that's stronger than you, got some more money. It's it's a competition. Everything's a competition.
Yep. Thank you.
Why should men sculpt themselves for women if women won't sculpt themselves for men?
Well, at the end of the day, I want to have a family. I want to be able to have a woman to end my life with. So I want to be able to be the best I can be to find the best out there. I don't know what their plans are. I don't know what they're trying to do, but I know what I want.
It's just start that family, get that family. So we always gonna be hunting for that family, that good woman though, not just any female. I think when it really comes down to it, we want that last female that's good for us.
What does self-improvement have to do with men's rights?
Nothing.
Why are men more focused on self-improvement than men's rights?
Because we don't care about that stuff. We just go to work, take care of the family. A real man, that should be his only focus, I believe.
I don't have time to go to Congress and tell them about my problems. I'm too busy trying to make money for my family.
Yeah, that's true.
Your only focus as a man should be going to work and taking care of the family. None of this other nonsense.
The manosphere is a big place. You know, there's a lot of different characters in there, and there's a lot of different takes on what that actually self-improvement or what sort of hierarchy to climb. And so I think the bifurcation of that community as a whole and a lot of different there's not a strict consensus. I mean, they debate amongst themselves. So the idea that they're going to unite and lobby politicians I think is sort of out of the question. And then I would also just kind of return my question I asked earlier: what rights do men not have? The sphere of men's grievances are not in the with the exception of the family court system, are not in the areas of depriving men of rights.
Well, why are they not lobbying for any change in the family court systems?
I think they should. I think they should. And I think there are a lot of people who do that as well, who lament that, including a lot of women. But like I said, I think that the sphere of men, I think the grievances are cultural, not necessarily political.
Why is the men's movement replaced most of the published veteran authors and intellectuals for a bunch of entertainers and shock jocks?
Social media has kind of taken over in that sense. So
Because of social media, YouTube, TikTok, and the like. Everyone wants that soundbite. Everyone wants to get that hot takeout first that gets you to stick around before you have the chance to scroll away.
Jordan Peterson, that's who I listen to. Tim Pool, that's who I listen to.
Okay.
And then you have like Andrew Tate and his brother and Jake Paul. Like if you're low-minded, you will get caught up into them and think their ways are right because some of it sounds correct, but their solutions are way wrong.
We need that soundbite right now. We need the thought right now. We need the attention right now. And that has worked to the detriment because a lot of the nuanced discussion has been replaced with sound bites and hot takes and in many ways toxic mindsets and opinions that really have poisoned the discourse.
Why is it always the tradcons or these so-called high-value men who represent the men's movement?
Why are they the figureheads, you saying, of the men's movement?
In other words, why is the average man never given a seat at the table when they are the ones who are most affected by all of this?
Well, we need that to be the case, but I also think we have to get people to listen, and the way to do that is by having the Andrew Tates, the Fresh and Fits, to be that main thing. If I were Fresh and Fit, I'd bring more average men on their show.
I feel like the working class is very underlooked, and if you're on top, you're getting all the publicity rather than the working class, the people working for us.
A lot of people that are just going for clicks and trying to create content for clicks, they're hacks. I'm going to be dead honest with you. And it's damaging the discourse and making these problems that much harder to solve.
Don't both shame the majority of men and exploit them for their own personal gain.
Absolutely. When you focus on the top tier men, that you're either making the average man angry or you're trying to make that average man buy into your idea of how to become a high-level man. It's hurting everybody. And again, like you see with a lot of women's media, it creates an unattainable standard, an unrealistic standard that only ends up making everyone miserable. It doesn't benefit anybody.
Okay, sir. So if what you're saying is true and what they're doing is creating a quote-unquote unattainable standard, then why are there so many examples of people who achieve high levels of worth and success through their hard work and their diligence? Why is it that there's so many examples of people that exhibit the same types of personality traits and the same type of work ethic and the same types of values and the same types of habits to get to where they are today? If what you're saying is true, then we wouldn't have a numerous amount of examples to reflect on. So with all due respect, sir,
stop the cap.
That was an L, man.
Doesn't benefit anybody.
Why was there no mention of a high-value man during the men's rights discussions of the past?
Good question. I don't know.
If high-value men are rare and women are delusional for wanting it, how is pushing men to all become high-value any less delusional?
Because high-value men are made by the men itself and not by the people around them.
I do think there's a lot of animosity towards men in our culture. I don't disagree with that at all. And I do think that a lot of social norms, feminism included, have contributed to that. What I will say is I think if you're a loser and you're absolutely not pulling your own weight or doing anything good for yourself or society, it would be okay to shame that, because I think everybody, men and women alike, have a responsibility to contribute for the sake of themselves and the sake of our country.
It's been said that women only see the top % of men, leaving the majority invisible. Are most men invisible to women for dating, or are most men invisible to content creators to be advocated for?
I would say dating, just because a woman's always going to look up rather than look down for a man.
There you go.
Whether it be Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, you see a video or a tweet like, where are all the good men at? And there's always someone who responds, they're in the friend zone where you left them.
A lot of men are invisible. A lot of men are invisible. It seems most of the women are going after the same guy and then complaining, saying that guys aren't shit. Excuse my language. Because they're dealing with a guy who's probably dealing with 12 of them.
Yep.
And the guys who are in their inboxes or the guys at the library they see, or the guys who are walking past them, that they might have a good chance with and might have a good life with, they bypass for the shiny object.
But they don't want
that. A woman
that.
wakes up and she has 100 messages. A guy sends 110 messages and is lucky to get one response. If I'm on a dating app and I get a response, I'm like, hey, Ma, I might have plans this weekend. We are encouraged to try harder because the competition is so stiff. We're in a climate currently where women just do not have to try so hard. The value is currently in women's favor. So men have to work up to that standard. It's just unfortunately the world we live in and the climate that has been created for us. It's the model that has been thrust onto us.
Hoflation is a term which describes the increase in price men have to pay for lower value women. Men have more competition than ever, women have more options than ever. If most men are average and women's standards are infinite, why are men told to step up and pay a higher price rather than change laws to lower the price?
Because I would say in this society, women get what they want more than men get what they want.
Right.
And men kind of, it's looked down as a man to advocate for himself rather than a woman to advocate for themselves.
There you go.
How are these self-proclaimed men's advocates any better than the women for only seeing the top tier men?
They're not any better. It's a hypocrisy there. There is an untapped demographic out there that needs to be heard, and I feel like I'm part of it. I'm average, you know, but I'm on the way of trying to making $1 million one day. I'm not there, but I'm on the way. People need to hear us, and people need to think it's not just the polarizing few.
Don't both the women and these content creators shame the majority and exploit them for their own gain?
Yes, they do. Of course they do. Every last one of them, from, I can say it, from Pearl to Fresh and Fit to most of them, they're all in it for the money now. When they first started, it was virtuous, but a lot of them have veered off, and it would be nice if they'd give people, the lesser people, some airtime now.
All right, okay, man. Shout out to It's Complicated for coming through with the 5 video called Average Man. Okay, so first impressions of me watching this one, I mean, hey, the entire video is pretty self-explanatory. There was a couple of takes in there that weren't that good, where I had to kind of give it the side eye and kind of question it a little bit. But overall, I mean, hey, a lot of the responses and viewpoints on this one, they were pretty spot on. I mean, it was pretty clear and concise. A lot of the responses were logically consistent. There was a little bit of flip-flopping in it, but overall it was a great video. And I mean, there wasn't too much craziness in this one. The questions were pretty straightforward and the responses were pretty straightforward. So I mean, overall, this was a great video. It's complicated. You're still doing your thing, man. And I gotta give one more shout out to you. And so with that being said, that's pretty much my reaction, man. So if you like the video, go ahead and give this video a like. Share with a couple of your friends. Make sure you follow me on all my social media sites. And if you got something specific, go ahead and drop it in that comment section, man. It's your boy AnonymousBased. Peace.